here's our life of you going back to school and me going on the road and us doing this again, like over and over again.
You're alone again. I shouldn't be thinking of you, thinking of me. I know.
Hello, everyone. This is Mike, and this is the Daily Bread, Weekly Bread podcast. And today I'm going to talk about another song. But first, I wanted to address a couple months ago. This is nothing serious. A couple months ago, a buddy of mine said, "People keep asking me if you're religious because it's daily bread." And I was like, no, that's definitely not the case. So I don't know if I've done. I should really like make a list or pay attention to these episodes that I've done where I remember what the hell I've talked about. But I don't think I've talked about what the name Daily Bread is, but it does not. It's a play on Catholicism, and it's daily. Again, if I'm repeating myself, I'm repeating myself, but it's daily because I draw daily, and then Daily Bread was the name of a magazine, a skate magazine back in the day that I liked, and I just liked that because that was like a play on Catholicism, and I grew up Catholic, and I don't care if people are religious. I would say I believe there's something. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know when I stopped really being religious, but yeah. So the BRED is just kind of like it's breeding as if the comic is bread every day, and then it's the whole thing is daily bread. It's like kind of you're receiving it every day, so it's the whole play on it. Plus, it's like tongue in cheek because it's not about religion, and that's what the whole daily bread thing is. So, no, I'm not a hardcore religious person, and that's not what the comic is about. So I want to address that. And now on to the topic. I had another topic I was going to talk about, and it's about my dog. And I've wanted to talk about it. He's fine, just to kind of put it out there, but I wanted to talk about it, and I have been trying to think of like when to do an episode about it, but today just wasn't the day, but I kind of wanted to throw it out there about that I just wanted to talk about what happened with him. And because I know I had an episode where I talked about he had seizures. So one of these days I will do an episode about that. So I'll leave you hanging. But again, he's fine. But today I'm going to talk about a song I wrote called Take Two. And a couple episodes ago I had a lyric called one of the episodes is called And Like That It's Over. It's episode 38. And I said that it's a lyric that was taken from a song of mine, and I never really went into why I chose that line, and I don't really know 100%. I think it was just because it was about something that happened, and it just popped in my head at the time. But it's funny because I think about it that what I talked about in that episode and that line don't really go hand in hand, I guess, and I think it'll make more sense in this. But this is a song that I wrote for my band Lane Meyer, and this is for our second album. And this is when our first album was an EP, and it was 7 songs. One of them was a cover of U2's With or Without You. And in that album, I had just started to write songs. So I had 2 songs in that album that I wrote. It was Don't Hate Me and Fuck You and Your Boyfriend, which I have explained in previous episodes. And this song is from the LP that we did, and we had about 12 songs, I think. I should really look this up. But I ended up writing 3 on that album. It was what was the first one? It was Where's My Letter, Take Two, Energy, and I think that's it. I should look this up. But this song is a very poppy song, and kind of I wouldn't say a fan favorite, but people definitely liked this song. It was pretty catchy. And this song was written about the girl I was dating at the time, who I think I wrote every single song in Lane Meyer about. And yeah, this is around the time where she was at college and we were still dating, but I think it was like a mixture of kind of like it was like where we were in our relationship where like we didn't it wasn't really working, but we were just like holding on to it. But then so there's that part of it which is in this song, and then there's another part of just explaining the time period or the time frame where she's going back to college, and I'm talking about going through that again. And I think it's a mixture of that, and I was going on tour. So she would come home for the summer or the winter, and then she would go back to school, and then we do long distance. This is when we just had phones, not like iPhones and mobile phones. This is when we had literally just landlines. And I didn't really. I was working like a waiter. I forget. I think it was working some just random jobs. I think I might have been working at a gas station at the time. So I didn't really have a lot of money to fly back and forth. But luckily, my mom had been traveling a lot for her job, so she had a lot of miles, and she would hook it up and send me out to Indiana to see the girl I was dating. And so we were writing new songs after our EP, and we were trying to. I don't think we were like writing towards an album. We were just writing. And this song is. I was listening to Hum at the time, and I wanted to do a song that was kind of poppy, and I wanted to do a song that was harder, which is funny because this song isn't hard at all. But I wanted kind of a downstrum song, like Weezer-ish, but Weezer-esque, ish, Weezer-ish, licorice. I don't know, just that made me think of the word licorice. I was listening to the band Hum, and there's a song that they have. I forget the name of it, but it's on the album with like the zebra, and the song Stars is on it. But there's this song they have where he comes in. It's just like him and guitar, and it's like and he's like he's playing it clean, but has some kind of weird effect on it, and he's just singing it. But then the song just like kicks in with just like super crunchy chorus, or not chorus, but I think I don't even know if that song even had a chorus. It was just like the verse and the chorus, I think, were the same thing, but it just kicked in so awesome, and I wanted to write a song that was like that. So if you listen to this song, you can hear. I'm gonna look this song up actually. Hum Band. You can hear in the song that's on that album. Let me see if I can find it. It's called 5 more. I Hate It Too. That's the name of the song. If you listen to that song and then you listen to the song, it's a stretch, but you can hear where I ripped it off, and it's ripped off to the point that unless I even said this, you wouldn't even notice. But it's just that downstrum that, because this song starts off with just guitar and me, and then it breaks in. It's like hold on. I'm like just singing this right now. But it like has this really loud break in, and then it quiets down, and then it gets loud again, and it quiets down. And that was the whole thing that I wanted to do. And it's the same chords the whole time, where there's one when it goes into the bridge. No, the bridge changes it up, and then it just goes between the chorus and the verse. It's the same chords, same 3 chords the whole time. So I had this riff, I guess, that I had figured out, and I remember like talking to Josh from Humble Beginnings at the time. I think we were at what was the mall in Wayne? Oh my God, what the fuck is the name of that mall? I can't think of it. But everyone from Jersey probably knows exactly what it is. We were walking in the food court, and I told him I had this idea for a song, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna rip off Hum, and there's really no significance to me saying this. It just, I remember telling him this, and I think he was kind of like, all right, that's weird, and it didn't sound like he was too thrilled, or like it didn't sound like he was as excited as I was. And I think that's why I remember that. And I was like, well, I'm still gonna do it, so I'm still gonna write the song. And so I had the chords, and I don't know what was going on at the time, but again, it was right around a time where I was dating this girl, and up, it was all over the place, and she went to school. So I'll kind of break down the lyrics. This is the lyric that starts off. That was the name of 2 episodes ago. So it starts off like, and like that, it's over. Some more goodbyes for us to go through. You're out the door. So that just means that she's going back to college. And it was just like, all right, it's over. Like another summer over, another winter over. I think it was a summer. I think it was a summer. And it's just like, all right, summer's over. Some more goodbyes for us to go through. You're out the door, meaning like, all right. And it's like tongue in cheek, like, all right, cool, bye. There you go again. And then it's kind of foreshadowing the future. And it's like, it seems like this time next year we can't be here. No more endless summers, fates disappeared. I think it was probably because either it felt like we were on our way out as a couple, but I don't think I would have written that because I was kind of afraid to express my emotions in a relationship back then. I think it meant more that she was going to be out of college that next year, and that was it. So like, then it was like this next thing of, no more endless summers, meaning like you're going to be working, you're going to have a full-time job. This whole thing that we have isn't going to happen anymore. So it's like, it seems like this time next year we can't be here. No more endless summers. Fates disappear. Just kind of like our teenage view of this, the end of our teenage, no responsibility lifestyle is happening. And then it kicks in where there's this cool guitar line. I think Chris at the time he wrote it, and it's like this, just 2 chords. It's like ding 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 ding, and it almost kind of not rips off. It's reminiscent to Today, the song by Smashing Pumpkins, where it just has that real simple, those 2 chords that are it just stands out and just cuts through everything and just really adds to like the hook. So that it goes really loud and then it breaks down again and quiets down. And it says, now's where you walk out. Don't look behind. Just follow the life's direction. I'll follow mine. Again, just where you walk out, meaning I think we might have been in a fight when I wrote this. And I usually wrote very angsty songs that were kind of a fuck you, where it was weird because it was just fuck you because I was emotional and I was trying to express that, but I didn't really know how to do it well, I guess. But yeah, now's where you walk out, don't look behind. So just kind of like, all right, see you later. I guess either we were in a fight or she was just like going back to college, like, all right, go do your life and just follow life's direction. I'll follow mine. Like, okay, you're going to go to college. I'm going to go on tour. And then it goes in the chorus because it's in my head, the things you said. You don't trust me now to be your best friend. It's all been read and everything you've said to me. So I think at the time it was kind of like, you just don't trust me. And that was true. Like she just didn't have any trust in me because she had her own issues, and I couldn't figure out like how to be like, I'm a good guy. Like I'm not doing anything. I go on tour. I'm not doing anything. And so that was just kind of my way of saying like, it's like whatever you're saying, it's like stuck in my head and just spinning around. Because you don't trust me to be your best friend. It's all been read and everything you said to me. So being like, I get what you're saying, but you obviously don't trust me and it's affecting me. And then, so this line's funny because it like pulls back and it goes, but I don't mean this and you don't see. So it's almost like I'm yelling and she turns around and I almost like kind of cower, like, but I don't mean this and you can't see. Let's see, and you don't see, just thoughts that I can't show you. You don't trust me. So it's like, I don't mean to be mad, and like you're not seeing this, but like I don't know how to show you what's in my head. And so that the whole thing, so the song really is about like just this thing living in my head, and I can't express it to her. So it's just like I'm so frustrated, and like we just couldn't communicate. And then it goes into back in the chorus where it's in my head, the things you said, you don't trust me now to be your best friend, I'll be read. It's all been read and everything you said to me. And then the breaks in the bridge and Chris yells, when I come home, and I say, when I come home, he goes, it'll be the same way it's always been. It's like when we come home from tour, like when we get back. And it was just, that was kind of like a line that I think he had used in another song. And it was one of those, it's like we didn't really have any meaning in the background vocals that we were doing for each other's songs. Like I had a couple songs that I did for him and I just made up some line because it just sounded cool. And he had used this when I come home line a lot meaning back from tour. So he just carried it over to this song. But it made sense because it was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna get back and things are gonna be the same way it's always been. And that's the whole song. And the reason it's called Take Two, it was because we had broken up the first time, and I think, yeah, Fuck You and Your Boyfriend, that talks about that whole thing because we had broken up during our last year of high school, and we reconnected her freshman year of college, which was the next year after our senior year of high school. And then so Take Two is a throwback to that being like, all right, here we go again. Like Take Two is us just doing this again. And I think it was like across the board where it was Take Two of us being a relationship and also Take Two of, okay, Take Two again. Um, here's our life of you going back to school and me going on the road and us doing this again, like over and over again. So that is what that's about, and that is on the album called If There's a Will, There's Still Nothing, which obviously sounds very depressing. You can look that up on Spotify, just look up Lane Meyer, and then you can hear this song, and I'll put on the landing page that this is on. But that is that song, and then the other two, I thought I had four, but I think I just did have three. The other song on the album, Where's My Letter, that is also, and I'll talk about that more, but that talks about how we reconnected as well, and that kind of goes more into it. And then that song was pretty popular. That was the third song on that CD, and that was where I was really starting to branch out more and write more structured songs and try to have like more of an edge, I guess. Like I try to have my songs sound a little darker or more melodic and just have a heavier tone. But this one has like that heavy Weezer-ish strum to it. And it's very easy to sing, actually. The chorus, though, was very high. And luckily, I started tuning my guitar a half step down when Chris had left the band. So when we went on tour, I was singing all of our songs, but we kept this one. But yep, so that is that song. Obviously, this episode sounds a little bit more happy than the last two because, time helps you get over shit. And if I wasn't in a good mood today, then I think that the many, many years of working on myself would not really be showing up. So I'm able to, once I get through things, I'm able to process things a lot better. And that's why I talked about this song today. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and you should go follow the comic, Your Daily Bread, BRED, and I've got more stickers coming in, and I am going to finish that fucking book. I actually gave the original copy to someone very special, and they loved it and said that gave me some advice on the printed version, and so I get to just get out of my own way and get that ready because Christmas is coming up, and I think it would be a good time to launch it for that. But cool. All right, well, go and write a song.